Did we cause global warming? Warming is a part of climate change. We're always going through warming, cooling cycles. We didn't cause it, and we're not going to stop it. Do we need to change the way we live? Absolutely. The moment I started speaking about spirituality as a scientist, I lost my credibility as a scientist. Science likes to work in boxes. What I choose to put into my body, I learned a long time ago, is more than just filling the empty space of my stomach. When I was researching the ancient texts, there was a sect called the Essenes, the ancient Essenes. Mysterious sect 500 years before the time of Jesus. Jesus, as a teacher, was taught in these Essene, E-S-S-E-N-E, Essene traditions. They were called therapeutae by the Egyptians because they understood healing. And when the master, Jesus, when he was asked by his students, what should we use to nourish our bodies? He answered them in a way I think it was so profound 2,000 years ago. And every meal I think of this. He says, if you put living food into your body, it will give you life. And if you kill the food that goes into your body, that dead food will also take the life from your body. And I can't think of a more profound way of saying the closer that we can eat to the raw and natural foods, processed foods aren't really foods. They fill the space, but they're not really food. So non-negotiable for me, the best quality of food that is available for me in the moment. If you're on an airplane, and for a few hours in the air, I have to eat something a little different, and that's the best I have in that moment, then I'll have that, and it's fine for me. And then when I get to wherever I'm going, I'll have something that's really good. So the nourishment and movement. When I'm at home, I prefer raw vegan. It's very difficult to eat raw vegan, and it's just about the quality of food. As little processing as possible. I don't do a lot of creams and sauces. And in other words, I eat for nutrition, not necessarily for taste, but I've learned that when something's really nutritious, it tastes awesome to me. So a salad, for example, rather than covering it with a lot of stuff to make it taste different, I've learned, and to me, the salad all by itself tastes really, really good with no dressing on the salad. Every lettuce has its own flavor. A Bibb lettuce is different than radicchio, and the carrots are different all over the world, and I love that. So kindness, I think, is really, really important. We can be honest with other people about what we're feeling and what we sense in the moment, but there is a way to share those feelings that can be done kindly, or it can be done in a hurtful way. And I think honesty, I believe there's a responsibility being a public speaker on a stage. When I'm looking out in the audience and the 2,000 or 3,000 people out there, and I know some people that have come to listen to me can be in very fragile places in their lives, be in very, very delicate places. And I have to ask myself, when I'm going to share something, what is my intent in sharing this? Who does it help? Who does it hurt? How is it heard? And is there a way that I can share this still honest, but in a way that is non-judgmental, that is not hurtful? And I'm a student of learning what this, and I'm also a student of listening. I've learned to become a good listener, and I'm still learning. And I've learned to listen from the people that I spend time with. What words work for you and what words don't? And it's different. So when I speak we're doing pilot programs with young people, and I have to use a very different language to elementary school and middle school, high school. I work with elders sometimes. Very different language with elders, and they have a very different attention span. When I'm with my typical audience, I can use my scientific language or lingo. If I'm with a technical audience, I'll use a different language. So it's about honoring those in my presence with a way of communication that's meaningful to them. I'm at a point in my life where I honestly have to say I'm not afraid of anything. And I also asked what mistakes I've made in my life, and I believe I've made no mistakes. And I'll tell you why I believe that. I think some of the outcomes could have been maybe better than others. Work is love made visible. 10 years old, I embraced that philosophy. And what that said to me was, whatever I say yes to, if I say yes that I'm going to do anything, if it's a video, a book, if I'm loading a boxcar or whatever it is, if I say yes, that means I'm committed, 1,000,000%, and I will do my very, very best. And if I've done my best and I cannot do better, and it doesn't turn out the way I expected, it cannot be a mistake because I did my very, very best. If I entered into it anything less than that, it could be a mistake. If I went into something and said, I don't really want to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway, or they're only paying me a little bit, so I'm not going to give them as much. That's not honoring my commitment, and that's where mistakes can happen. So I honestly can say I feel I haven't really made mistakes. I have had learning experiences. And when I think about the world today, I was just asked this recently, I can't really think of anything that frightens me, because there's a part of me that knows that I have within me the ability to transcend whatever it is that life brings to my doorstep. And I had to learn that through going through what are called dark nights of the soul. I've had a couple of them in my life. And you come out on the other end. You can come out devastated, or you can come out stronger. I was blessed to come out stronger, and in that strength, it has empowered me to see life differently and to think of life differently. And I really think that for me, I think it's true for everyone. I believe not everyone has reached the point where they see it the way that I'm seeing it, but I think everyone has the ability not only to survive, but to thrive.